Meanwhile, back in Makuru village, Paka moved silently in the shadows, circling Jabali's homestead. Then an idea struck him, and without hesitation, he approached the hut. He knocked firmly on the door. When Chipo opened the door and saw Paka, her breath caught. She froze, taking a step back. She knew exactly who he was. He smiled at her, but there was no warmth in his eyes. "Hello, Chipo. Do you remember me?" he said, his voice low and unsettling. She didn't respond. Instead, she stumbled back into the hut, her mind racing with fear. Akina, her mother, was still lying on her mat in the corner, half asleep. She stirred, hearing voices but unable to make out who it was. "Lulenga," she mumbled, thinking perhaps he was back. But when she tried to lift her head, it felt impossibly heavy. Before long, Paka stepped inside the hut. His shadow loomed over Akina. She opened her eyes a little more, and her heart sank. She started to tremble. Stories of Paka's power, of how he transformed into a lion in the market square, rushed back. "My father isn't here," Chipo managed to say, her voice shaking. "I know," Paka whispered, his tone unsettlingly calm. "Then why are you here?" she asked, trying to keep the fear out of her voice. He smiled faintly. "I heard your mother fell at the market. I wanted to check on her." Akina's fear deepened. She tried to sit up, but her body betrayed her, weak and trembling. Paka stepped closer. "Don't strain yourself, my love," he said softly, crouching near her. "No need to speak. I'll wait for Jabali to return. I have a few matters to discuss with him." His words were calm, but there was a sharpness beneath them. The room felt colder now. Chipo stood frozen in the corner, her back pressed against the wall. She couldn't take her eyes off Paka. There was something about him. His presence was both terrifying and strangely captivating, as if he commanded the space around him. Paka finally sat down, his movements slow, deliberate. He leaned back in the chair, watching them. "Such a beautiful family we would make," he murmured, his voice almost wistful. "I just want to talk, that's all. Let's wait for Jabali together." Chipo and Akina didn't dare move or speak. They could only wait, trapped under Paka's gaze. Outside, the village was silent, unaware of the predator lurking within.